What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Hangout. I'm your host, BJ Kicks. I buy comics, I read them, and I review them. And like I said, welcome to the Hangout. This is a show that we do every Thursday. Yes, we are back at our normal date and time. Every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we hang out, we talk comics, we talk whatever we want to talk. And we have a lot of fun doing it. This is the last Hangout of the year. So hopefully, thank you if you're watching us on the replay. Hopefully, you can catch us live at one of these very soon. By the way, speaking of watching live, if you are live watching this right now, go ahead and let me know in the chat, which I'm seeing some of you guys already. Charles is here. James is here. Al Keaton, what's up, bro? That's my dude. He's here. So if you guys are watching live right now, let me know in the comments, like, what's your New Year's resolution, right? We got one more day left in 2021. What are you guys trying to do better in 2022? It can be comic related. It can be family related. Just let me know. And while you guys are doing that, I'm sure you're wondering why we're like watching me in the background. Well, the truth is my room is a mess. This office is insane. And if I didn't have something playing on the TV, you would just see the reflection of a disgusting room in the TV. So we got to watch something. And last time I did this, we got like struck down by the copyright gods. So I figured I'll just watch my own material because I own that. So yeah, that's what we got going on. So while you guys are letting me know what your New Year's resolutions are, I got to do some shout outs to our sponsors. It's going to be a fun night. It's going to be a very fun night. But first up, shout out to Ultimate Comics. Ultimate Comics is my LCS. They got 4 locations in the Raleigh area. And if you walk into any one of those 4 locations this Saturday or Sunday, then you can participate in the Marvel Buy 2, Get 1 Free sale that they've got going on in Raleigh, Durham, Cary, and in Crabtree Valley Mall. I believe they're celebrating Stan Lee's birthday, and that's why they're having that sale. And if you don't live in Raleigh, no worries. You can go to ultimatecomics.com and get really cool stuff like this Silver Surfer variant that they've got up for pre-order right now. It's an Ultimate Comics exclusive. You can get the trade dress, which is this one over here. You can get that one for $19.99, or you can get the set with the trade dress and the Virgin variant for $49.99. So you can go ahead and go to ultimatecomics.com, tell them I sent you, place that order. And then I got to give another fat shout out to Organic Price Books, the best place to look for collected editions. They got omnis, trade paperbacks, deluxe hardcovers, whatever you're looking for. If it's square bound, if it's a bunch of issues together, they got it. So go to organicpricebooks.com and use my coupon code BJKicks. You'll save $2 on checkout, on every order, every time. So now that that's out of the way, right, let's get to these comments. I'm really excited to see what you guys are trying to do in the new year. My man Albert says he wants to buy more comics. That's always a great resolution, right? White Tiger says, Cowabunga fam, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Jelly is going to live her best life. I feel you. I'm trying to do the same. Phil wants to read and watch more. I can't watch, I'm not a TV guy. I feel like I say that like at least once a month on here. But if I started getting into like the Netflix series and all the Disney Plus shows and stuff, I would never read comics. I finally got almost like this close to being caught up on my to read pile. Like basically every ongoing series that I'm going to be reading in 2022, I'm caught up on. There are a few miniseries I didn't get to this year. And I didn't finish. Whoops. Maybe I should make this a little bit further away. I didn't finish 7 Secrets and I didn't finish Firepower. I still got a few issues of those left. But other than that, everything else on my pull list, I'm caught up on and I'm excited about that. So that was a New Year's resolution for me. I wanted to be caught up. I didn't want to bring the 2021 reading pile into 2022. Born Hitman wants to write a review for every comic and manga that he reads. He finds it really helps him understand the work better. Same. I don't know if you guys notice, but I do these little mini reviews. That's kind of like my first reaction. and I do them in the K Squad on Facebook and on Discord. And I find that the more I review, the more I find out more about what I like and why I like it. So it's fun. Yair Marome is going to hang out with their brothers more. What if that's not how you say that name? What if I just like made up a fancy pronunciation? What if it was just Yair? Yair Marome. I'm playing. JC says, what's up? Hope everyone has an awesome new year. Charles wants to invest for his 1-year-old and hit up Disney World. Jody wants to stop driving Yvette's car around. He says, what's up, though? What's up? My man Ryan wants to lose 59 pounds and purchase some keys. Some keys? I'm assuming you want to buy a house because purchasing keys will get you locked up, which might get you closer to that Batman and Robin omnibus. Just saying. Let's see. Vela Crom is going to get the comic-based channel with their best friend going. That's dope. That's dope. I'm down for it. I watch a lot of comic book YouTubers. A comic book worm wants to buy less comics. Hey, I feel you. I definitely am cutting down my pull list in 2022 because this whole marathon I just did to get caught up, I don't want to have to do that again. So I'm trying to be more intentional about the titles that I subscribe to. I might try some other series out digitally and stuff, but I'm not just going to fill my house with a bunch of stuff in the new year. That's my goal. JC wants to lose weight and get into martial arts and stick with a hobby. I feel you, man. I feel you. Look, hobbies are just there to bring you joy. So if you're not enjoying whatever hobby it is, get a new one or don't. You know what I'm saying? My man Al says, I read like a geriatric superhero. Dog, look, this year was crazy. I was caught up. I was doing well until July. We brought my daughter home from the hospital. All bets were off. It was crazy. It was crazy. Thomas, my little girl is doing very well. I don't know if you guys, I don't remember if I told you guys, but we had like a COVID scare last week. My oldest daughter came home and she was like feeling sick. My wife went down. She was feeling sick. So we got COVID tests, but we ended up they got COVID tested on Christmas Eve. And so, or the day before. Yeah, day before Christmas Eve. And of course, we didn't get the results until Sunday night. So we had to spend Christmas at home. And that was it. Like, we didn't get to go anywhere. We didn't get to visit anybody. Nobody got to visit us. And then Sunday night, we get the negative test results. And it was like, we could have enjoyed Christmas. But it was nice. Usually we got to do a lot of house hopping. I say all that to say everyone in my house is doing well. So thanks for asking, dude. Omni Nation says, what's good, bro? What's good? What's good? Just sitting here watching my old room tour. Just playing. Let's see. The Clark NATO wants to get a suit, start a life of crime, become someone's villain. No one said resolutions had to be positive. It's true. You just got to be resolved to do them. Right? He wants to buy key issues. First Gambit, first. That's a trend I'm trying not to go down. If I start buying like keys, especially slab keys, that's it for my budget. And I've gotten to such a good place with my budget. My man JC says he's got a $60 a month budget now. Happy wife, happy life. Yo, that's what's up. That's what's up. Let's see. Al says, having excuses that are 100% valid. I'm not crying. My eyeballs are just sweating. Yo, it's all good. It's all good. Everybody's doing great. It's been a crazy year. It's been an interesting year. And we're talking about it. That's what we're doing all night. This is 2021, a year in review. That's what I put in the thumbnail anyway. It's definitely like when I go back and reflect, like this year has been very interesting. A lot of really cool things happen. Look at my man Jesse with the grown-up goals. He wants to fund a self-directed Roth IRA with CGC slabs. That's a good thing to do with CGC slab income. Who says comics don't pay for your life? Who says comics are immature? People are funding Roth IRAs with them. Who would have ever thunk it? Jody's gonna stop lying to Yvette in 2022. Yo, I don't know when this joke is gonna stop being funny, but I feel like it's no time soon. So I appreciate you being a good sport about it, Jody. Phil Duran says this week's Swamp Thing Green Hell was crazy good. I didn't pick that one up. I've decided I'm gonna chill. I'm going to chill on the Black Label single issues, mostly the Batman related ones. All the other ones, they don't do so many of them. But like, I fell down the Batman rabbit hole this year, and when I finally climbed out of it this past week, I was like, most of these series I could have done without. Like, they were good, but they weren't great. So yeah, I'm trying to stay away from some of these Black Label titles. But I've heard the Swamp Thing Green Hell was good. I still gotta buy that Swamp Thing Omnibus from my man Jason. So we'll see. My man Keaton has a $1,500 pull list monthly budget. That's the New Year's resolution. Trying to stick to it. That, I mean, if you can't stick to that budget, I don't know what else to tell you, man. But my man, he buys a lot of keys and stuff too, so I could see how that could be a tight one. Oh, Phil Duran. Okay. Swamp Thing was by Jeff Lemire. I'm gonna try very hard to like just wait for the hardcover on a lot of these. Exactly. Exactly. DC does their Black Label. Yeah, they do their Black Label hardcovers. Like, I remember, was it Superman Year One? That was like the first one that they like did the hardcover like the same day the series ended, it felt like. So that was cool. That was cool. Let's see. Let's see. Keaton says the Batman rabbit hole is deep. Yeah. Yeah, Jason, I was telling them like I had to turn something on the TV so that you didn't just see a reflection of a bunch of random stuff on my floor. And when I turned on Superman last week, they kicked me off of YouTube. So I figured I just play my own content to be safe. Ben's got a resolution, the same one he started with 2021 with and failed. Only buy one book for every 5 I read. Buy less, read more. I don't know that I have like a goal of like reading versus buying. My thing is I just want to read more stories. Like I want to read more and I want to review more. I want this channel to be more reviewing than hauling. And it's tricky because the haul videos bring in more views and the haul videos are frankly easier to film because it doesn't require me to sit and read and think and write out a whole essay about what I thought about it. But it's the content that I like the most. So Top Gun's here. What's up, dude? Captain Makasu is here. What's up? What's up, nerd? Richard's having trouble justifying a $15 a month budget. Listen, man, if I told my wife I was spending $1,500 a month on comics, she'd be like, come again? Let's see. Nerdette. What's up, Tristan? Says resolution, start gaining subs, not losing them. Listen, man, you got to go back to screaming at people. You got to go back to like yelling about random hate stuff. Joking. I would never do that. Let's see. Al is letting you all know that he sells comics and that's why his budget's so high. I knew that, but now you guys know it too. Let's see. Call me Top Gun says this is your stream, so be nice. The running joke is I'm like I go and bully my man Noah on the OPB stream every Wednesday night, and then I come here Thursday and just continue to be nice to others because kindness makes the world go round. Ryan's got to cut down his pull list and use a budget. Don't we all? What's up, Tom? Tom, I told you this privately, but Tom sent me a Christmas card, and my wife loved it. Tom does watercolor painting. You guys should check his page out. He does really great work. My wife saw the card and was like, "Ooh, he just started a business." I'm like, I'm pretty sure he did. Like, that's how we got the card, right? So let's see. When all the publishing and distribution delays catch up, we're going to have a few brutal buying months. Tell me about it, man. January is going to be crazy. Yeah, I don't even, I made that whole books I'm looking forward to in the fourth quarter, and like almost all of them got pushed back into next year. So I don't even know when the stuff are coming out, when the things are coming out anymore. I'll have to check out comic releases to figure it out. Raya's here. What's up, Raya? Raya's in our Discord. Phil says, BJ, you do what you do. I love all the content. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Let's see. Nerdette says, that's not me. Exactly. I feel you. It's not me either. It's interesting, like the way people rally around certain topics on YouTube. And it was funny. I got caught up on Flash yesterday, and I promise this is as political as this conversation is going to get, right? But obviously, like on YouTube, we see a lot of like political commentary. That's like a lot of the channels that are like really growing are channels that are like complaining about, leftism and whatever else that they feel is infiltrating comics. I was reading Flash though, and I don't know if anybody caught on to this because nobody talked about it, but Wally West clearly was painted in conservative light, in my opinion, right? He's in the Midwest. He wants to work hard for his money. He doesn't want handouts, like all these things that you traditionally like would classify someone as conservative for. I thought it was an interesting way to, or a nice way to categorize or characterize Wally, representing a certain set of ideals that we don't necessarily see in the mainstream, without being a caricature, without being like rude or whatever. But anyway, my point is, I keep hearing that there's like some concerted effort to suppress conservatism in comics, and there it was, just right there in Flash. And it was a fun book. It was a really fun book. I really like Flash. But yeah, sorry for the political rant. That's about it. Death and Return of Superman reprint comes out May 10th around Jason's birthday. That's what's up. I gotta grab that. Phil says, A Darkness Trade Volume 2, Spawn Companion Volume 2, and Batman Urban Legends Volume 1. Listen, man, I should have got the Batman Urban Legends trade. It was so much cheaper than buying the first 6 single issues at $7 a pop. But I did get like the random Tim Drake key issue that I'm never going to sell, but it's there. Tim says, what's up, buddy? Just want to say hi, have a happy new year. He's got to get back to work. I appreciate it, Tim. Thanks for stopping by. Nerdette says Flash is amazing. She'd say Hal's more conservative. That makes sense. I haven't read a lot of Hal Jordan, but I could certainly see that. But I was just surprised at how, not blatant, but like how much it was right there in the story. It was right there in the story. Let's see. March starts, Call Me Top Guns, Omnigeddon, The Question, Gotham Central, Death and Return. Is all that coming in? Nah, The Question comes in April, right? Gotham Central is coming in May, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like we just looked this up. I have the hand movements of an Italian gentleman. Word? I was not aware. By the way, you got to do that thing where you do the thing where you give people a reason to stick around to the end of a video, right? We got 2 prize packs to give away today. This prize pack from Ultimate Comics Raleigh. One person is going to win these 5 trade paperbacks. It was curated by Dan, who is one of the owners there, and he's calling this the Teenage Wasteland. So all these books feature teenage superheroes. We got Invincible, Volume 1. Highly recommended. I love this book. We got The Legion by Dan Abnett and Andy Landing. Legion of Superheroes there. Teenage superheroes. Super cool. We got Power Rangers Volume 1, as well as Mighty Morphin Volume 1. And then we got this, Generation X. So the one thing these books all have in common is that they primarily feature teenage superheroes. So stick around. I'll let you guys know how that will be won. But somebody who's watching the stream is going to win that prize pack. And then somebody in the K Squad is going to win this, courtesy of Organic Price Books. This is the Batman Omnibus by Scott Snyder and Capullo, Volume 2. So this collecting issues 34 through 52, annuals 3 and 4, The Future's End sneak peek, and Last Night on Earth with some select stories like random stuff from Detective Comics 27 and issue 1000. Very cool, very cool. But yeah, so these are two things that are up for grabs. This one, I already know. I don't know who won, but all the entries have already been gathered. People just don't know how I gathered them yet. So that's going to be fun to give away. That's going to be fun. What we got going on? Cool. Sorry. My wife texts me during the live stream, and I always assume it's something important, and it's always like a meme. But yeah, so Comic Book Report says great pack. Yeah, the Teenage Wasteland I'm actually kind of jealous of, but it's okay. By the way, if you don't win these, it doesn't matter, or it does matter, but if you don't win these are all currently in stock at any Ultimate Comics location. I was told to tell you that so that you can buy them if you don't win them here. So the more you know. Let's see. Al says you can just send Batman to me. I can't, man. I can't. It's in the contract. I got to do the whole, it's got to be the whole thing. The whole thing's got to get done. Ryan says it's time to get side accounts ready. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. JC is going to come in second place again. Let's see. Jonathan says, how do I enter? The Batman Omnibus, you have to be in the K Squad, and those entries are closed. But this Teenage Wasteland, that we're calling it, this 5 trade paperback set, we'll talk about that later. Just stick around. My man FC says, yo, Kicks. It's so funny. When people call me Kicks, I just assume they know me from high school. But then I realize I have a YouTube channel and I call myself Kicks all the time. So there's that. Hype the 5K giveaway prize. We got to get the subscribers up. You know what? You're right. So let me do this. I'm going to throw something up on the screen so I can go grab this thing. Let's see. How much time do we have? I don't remember how long this video is. So give me a second. That was a disaster. So instead of showing you, I'll just tell you. So I just knocked my printer over. That's insane. I'll have to deal with that later. But when we hit 5,000 subscribers on this channel, which I'm hoping we do in the next month or so, but we'll do it soon enough. When we hit 5,000 subscribers, courtesy of my man Al, we are giving away a CGC 9.6 Ultimate Fallout 4, the second printing. Now, when Al got that issue slabbed, it was worth somewhere around $150. And I want to say the going price for it now is somewhere around $500. Now, I've still not seen No Way Home. So I don't know if there's any sort of Miles appearance there, if there's anything that's going to make it go up crazy. But you get in on the ground floor with this issue, then do it. Then do it. He almost made it. I almost made it. That was insane. At this rate, it'll be a great giveaway by the time the movie drops. I'm assuming that means there's going to be a movie. Let's see. Also, to clarify, being in the K Squad means being in the Discord channel or the Facebook group. Yes, the K Squad is on Facebook and it's on Discord. So, yeah, I collected entries from both. This was so much easier to do when the K Squad was only on Facebook, but we'll talk about how I did it. But yeah, the K Squad is being in the Facebook group or the Discord group. Let's see. My man Ben says, can you talk a little bit about what's coming to Comics Are Dope in 2022? Are you still planning on doing dope contributor content? Yes. Sheesh. Haircuts coming to Comics Are Dope. That's what's happening. But yeah, so in 2022, Comics Are Dope, which is my website that I just launched. That's where you just saw that merch coming from. I am planning to make it a lot more of a, a blog, right? I hate the term blog because it makes it just sound like a few people like in their basements typing stuff. But I really want to make it a nice journalism outlet. Like I want it to be a place where you can get news, interviews, like analysis, all of that. So I have been in the last month, like kind of developing the editorial plan. I thought I was going to be able to have that stuff done like at launch. Not the case. But yeah, starting in a couple of weeks, you guys will start to see articles, reviews, essays, really cool stuff coming to comicsaredope.com. And I'll start hyping that stuff up on the channel when I do. So my man Top Gun wants to be able to write a few articles during the summer if possible. Yeah, if anyone, if you applied to be a contributor, I'm sending an email out actually tomorrow with more information about how that's all going to work. So if you already entered, no worries, your information is with me. I got it. It's weird. There's two of me on the screen. That was fine when it was just like comic books. But anyway, yeah. So that's what's happening with Comics Are Dope. There's going to be interviews and essays and news and fun stuff, and not just what's coming out this week. If it's a blog, keep it away from Kevin Durant. Yes, that's facts. That's facts. Yeah. Blaine says, hey, how are you? I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Our man Al says, don't be like Samson. Haircuts are bad for the superpowers. That's true. It's true. But yeah. It's time for a change. I was just gonna surprise everybody, but anyway, we gotta switch some things up. Let's see. Top Gun didn't apply. He had surgery the week the website launched. No worries. The form is still live. If you go to, I gotta remember the link. Give me a second. It's bjkicks.link/dope writers. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that was right. I'm gonna put it on the screen. Give me a second, guys. All right, so by the way, we've been talking for a minute about just random stuff, but we do have a bit of an agenda tonight. 30 minutes in, I should probably announce it. So tonight I want to talk about some of my favorite books this year. I did rank them, and I think this list is still the order I want everything in. So we're talking about my favorite ongoing series in 2021, my favorite limited series in 2021, my biggest disappointments, and some honorable mentions. We're talking about all of that tonight on the Hangout. If you're interested in writing for Comics Are Dope, then yeah, go to that link, fill out the form. If you have a writing sample, that would be ideal, because like if you guys end up on the site, I do have to edit your content. So if there's a bunch of typos and run-on sentences and stuff, it's more work for me. So that's why I'm like looking to see like who's actually a dope writer. So there are some selection criteria, but we'll talk about that when you apply. But, but yeah, let's see. Good Brandon white shirt, bad Brandon black hoodie. We're all good. It's all good, Brandon. That should be a meme. Somebody's gonna like screenshot this. I know. I'm sure. Now I'm like all self-conscious about which video is gonna play next. Cool. Have you started reading X-Men by Claremont? Any thoughts about reading it on Marvel Infinite or getting the omnibus? So the answer is yes, and yes, I have thoughts too. So I started reading this Christmas Eve, actually. The Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 1. So this collects giant size X-Men #1, and then X-Men issues, 94 to 131 in annual #3. And when I tell you, like, I'm only about a quarter of the way through this omnibus, but I was really surprised at how good this book gets, like, fast. Like, Chris Claremont was just doing just epic stuff in here. So for me, I'm buying the Omnis. Well, I have the Omnis. I got 1 through 4 already, but they are reprinting them all. I think Volume 3 just came out recently, and then Volume 1, 2, and 4 will all be out by the end of January, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe February. But go to Organic Price Books. You can pre-order those. My recommendation as an X-Men fan is grab the hardcovers. But even if you don't, if you want to read on Marvel Unlimited, then read on Marvel Unlimited. One thing I have noticed is that the screen resolution on Marvel Unlimited is not as good as the screen resolution on DC Universe. So reading it on like a bigger computer screen actually kind of messed with my eyes a little bit. So I'm not the biggest fan of Marvel Unlimited right now. But it's certainly a way more affordable option than trying to buy a bunch of hardcovers. Like, so I feel you. That's the rest of the stuff that I knocked over falling. My man Afro Sci-Fi envies me reading Claremont's X-Men for the first time. I mean, honestly, man, this is really dope. Like, I'm like a quarter of the way through this book, and spoiler alert, Jean Grey is already the Phoenix. Like, there's so much just epic stuff that happens in here. This is kind of made me fall in love with Storm all over again. And Wolverine I love. I already loved Wolverine. I love him more reading this. What do I think of the art in the Uncanny X-Men? I mean, it's, Bronze Age art. I think it's really good. It's some of the best. Like, I mean, look at that splash page. It's really good. It's not like, some old art like is distracting. This is like close enough to what we'll eventually get that it doesn't matter. But then also the story is so good and intriguing that the art could have been worse and I would have still like breezed through it. But it's all good. Story's good. The art's good. So far, this is like 10 out of 10. But yeah, I'm reading through all of the Uncanny X-Men. I got to finish this Volume 1 in the next 2 weeks so I can start on Volume 2. I'm doing reviews every month. So you can expect my Uncanny Volume 1 review in about 2 weeks. But yeah. So Charles Ramsden is reading it for the first time too. He's just reached the halfway point in Volume 1. That's dope. Yeah. I'm surprised at like how long it takes me to read this. There are a lot more words than like, the average modern comic book. But it's so good. It's such a page turner. And I like that every story is like a 2 or 3 issue at the most arc. Like, I like that too. It feels like you're progressing faster. So, all in all, 2 thumbs up. Let's see. Violet Crom says he just finished Volume 3 of Uncanny. God Loves Man Kills is a game changer. I read God Loves Man Kills, not Chills. I I bought like a 7th print of the graphic novel, so I read that last year, and I agree, really, really good. Oh, look, it's my milestone collection. But yeah, so that's what's happening. So I guess we need to talk about some of my favorite titles, and what better way to do that than for me to share my screen, and we'll just kind of go through them one by one. And I got them ranked, so we'll go in the order that I decided to rank them. So first, we're going to start talking about my favorite ongoing series. And I was going to do a top 10. I don't have 10. I've got 8. So coming in at number 8. Was there not an issue of this book this month? I'm tripping. It's got to be here. Where is it? RST. Boom. I scrolled past it like twice. So at number 8, we got Wolverine. Wolverine by Benjamin Percy. There's been like rotating artists. It started out with Victor Bogdanovich and Andy Kubert. Not Andy, Adam Kubert. My favorite of the Kubert brothers. But we've had Javier Fernandez. We've had a bunch of people contributing art to this series. Wolverine. The big downfall of Wolverine is that it's like constantly being interrupted by events. And that's kind of just the bad thing with the X-Men line in general, is it's constantly being bogged down with events. There was Ten of Swords, then the Hellfire Gala, and who knows what's coming next. Well, now next is the 10 Lives and 10 Deaths of Wolverine. But in between all those events and those random things happening, Benjamin Percy is doing a really good character study of Wolverine. Like, Krakoa is this island paradise where nothing can go wrong and the mutants are finally safe from scrutiny and harm and all that, right? Wolverine is like, not buying it. Something bad's going to happen. I'm going to be there when it does. And in fact, I'm more comfortable when something bad is happening. So I really like the character growth that we're getting here. Maybe not growth, but there's a lot of internal monologue stuff that I love that's in Batman. And yeah, that's what I loved about Wolverine. I mean, Wolverine's my favorite Marvel character, and Benjamin Percy, kind of the voice for Wolverine, is pretty much spot on. Let's see. Bourne wants to know if I'm willing to share what's my account name on League of Comic Geeks. He'd like to follow me. I'll give you one guess. It's BJ Kicks, all one word. Al says, I feel like your reading pace inhibited you from going over 8. That's true, because I'm sure if I had finished reading Firepower and or 7 Secrets, that they both would have easily been toward the middle of my top 10, but I haven't finished them. So I just kind of left those two open. Wolverine, the overall arc has been consistent. Plus, he likes the evolving of his mythos. Yeah, like we're getting Wolverine as Patch. We're getting like flashbacks into former lives or like just Wolverine's past. There's a lot of elements there that are really good. And like Al said, the overall story is consistent. The only thing that like knocked it all the way down to number 8 on my list is that it's constantly being interrupted. But when Percy can do what he wants to do, he does it very well. So that's my number 8 book. Now let's go and see where number 7 was. One day I'm going to be better at alphabetical order. So with number 7, my number 7 favorite series this year, ongoing. This is the ongoing category. Is Superman, Son of Kal-El. So you guys know I'm not a huge Superman fan, but I am a big family guy, like Family Guy. But I love a book that's focused on family. So when they announced that Philip Kennedy Johnson was taking over Superman and Action Comics, and he was focusing on Clark and John, I was like, okay, I'm excited about this. And yeah, so I was very excited to just, okay, I'll pick up Superman and see how it goes. And for those like 4 or 5 issues where Superman and Action Comics were all written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, it was really intriguing for me. And that led directly into the Superman Son of Kal-El series. Without spoiling anything, Clark Kent has to leave Earth for a reason. And John Kent has to take over as the Superman of our world, of the regular DC universe. And so this series is about him kind of figuring out what kind of Superman he wants to be, while also figuring out what kind of person he wants to be. John Kent is only 16. And he's feeling a lot of pressure because he knows that this is it for Superman, whether he's going to die or something else is going to happen. He's been to the future and he knows that Superman's history stops here. And so he's feeling all the pressure on his shoulders. But at the heart of this series is like what's different between the Superman of our generation and the Superman for a new generation, right? Now, the overwhelming criticism of this series is Tom Taylor's politics, right? And honestly, it's not off-putting to me because I'm more of a centrist, so I can see arguments on both sides and like whatever, just make your argument in a valid way, and like let's not like be rooted in nonsense or hate, right? But if you are not a fan of like leftism, you probably aren't gonna like this book, right? In 6 issues and an annual, we have seen John Kent fight against climate change, get arrested for immigration reform. He was like at a protest on one cover. And he's in a homosexual relationship, or at least he's experimenting. That relationship really hasn't been fleshed out like that. Out of all of these new developments, I feel like the relationship hasn't quite earned all the hype that it's gotten. I feel like it's just kind of there. But there's a lot of things like if you at least know subtles, or if you at least know Superman mythos, there's a lot of things that this series is kind of turning on its head, right? Like John Kent's love interest, for example, it's like the complete opposite of Lois Lane. I can't spoil why, but that was interesting to me. That in this annual that I just read, Lex Luthor comes and John Kent just like beats him in a game of chess. And it's like, yo, what? Like, so it's just really, really cool. All of the changes that have come to this character, if you could call them changes, it's just real, it's just development. It's just whatever. But all of that, in my opinion, makes sense. Like when I talk to my 20-year-old sister, the things that are important to John Kent are important to her, right? I'm a little older. I'm a little bit more buttoned up. So some of these things, it's just not really my bag, but it makes sense for the character. And I like that it's not just shoving stuff in a comic book. If you read the story, everything that's in it makes sense. So that's what I got for my number 7. Superman Son of Kal-El by Tom Taylor. You guys know Tom Taylor is like my favorite writer in comics right now, because of the way he writes characters and also makes issues with high stakes in each issue. My man Albert says, if I catch up on 7 Secrets, he'll give me the Virgins for the first 10 issues to give away, the 1 in 10s. Word. Well, there's a challenge. Now I have to read a book so that you guys can win some, which will be fun. Now, 7 Secrets is literally next on my list. I was reading it, but, life happened today. So that was my number 7. Let's go to number 6. Number 6 is Detective Comics. Now, I've been on the record as saying like I didn't really enjoy Fear State. And honestly, I think a lot of it is just kind of bias on my part. I really enjoyed James Tynion's Joker War, right? And right after Joker War ended, basically, we were taking a 2-month pause for Future State, where we get the next Batman and all that stuff, right? And what I thought was going to happen was we were just going to go back to, like, status quo Gotham. But instead, what we got was, now we're going to get what the origins of this whole Future State thing were. I didn't really like the whole Magistrate saga in Future State. And so when it returned to all the mainline titles, I was just like, I do not care about Batman right now. When is this stuff going to be over? When is Bruce Wayne just going to do Bruce Wayne stuff? And that didn't happen. As you can see, Detective Comics issue 1046 is out today, and they're still tying into Fear State. But going back and reading Detective Comics, because that was the first book to fall off of my reading pile when I fell behind. This was actually, in my opinion, the better of the two Batman titles. You get a lot of Bruce Wayne doing detective work. You get a lot of understanding kind of the inner workings and how this mayor's office is working. And you just get really good comics, honestly. Rico Tamaki did a great job. Dan Mora's art is amazing. It's not better than Jorge Jimenez on the main title, but it's really, really good. And the issues where Dan Mora doesn't do the art, it's like a very noticeable step down, in my opinion. But Detective Comics was actually pretty good this year. And I hate that I waited until last week to get caught up. My man says, Ben says, I haven't read all of Superman Son of Kal-El, but my favorite Superman book this year was Superman Red and Blue. It's an anthology series, so not all are great, but there are some amazing stories. I picked up a few issues of Superman Red and Blue. I'll probably grab that hardcover because that's out. Oh man, Al says that I have 1 week. I have 1 week to get caught up on Seven Secrets, or none of you are going to be able to win these version covers. So I'll read it. I was planning on reading it anyway. I'm off work tomorrow. I'll probably read them all tomorrow. So when somebody wins that set, you'll be like, oh snap. Thanks, BJ, for reading. Kev Koss is popping in and say hey to everybody. Mojo says, as a heterosexual man, I'm digging all the inclusivity lately in comics. They don't just make comics for me or anyone. It's good to see other people see some representation. Yeah, I agree. Representation doesn't hurt me any. I don't know if anybody noticed, but I'm a black guy with an afro, right? So like when I see something that looks like it's, got cultural significance to me, I jump on that, right? That's why I'm a huge fan of Milestone. So I imagine that people who are in other, marginalized or minority groups, they get similar feelings. And so if everybody can go to the comic shop and see a book that they feel like is for them, then great. Because I do think that no matter what your political leanings are, what your religious affiliations are, there are books on the shelves right now that will call out to you. Because I read a lot of them, and all across the spectrum. And there's a lot of good stuff out there. Let's see. New comics. Looks like it's time to cut the live short so I can get to reading. I'm going to read it tomorrow. I'll let you know. And I'm going to do a review. I'll do a review. One of my written reviews. I'll do it on the community tab so you guys will know. Have you read all of Daredevil Omnibus by Charles Soule? No. I read the first story arc, the whole 10 Fingers story arc. Really, really liked it, but I haven't read past that because I had to start the Uncanny X-Men. Let's see. Mojo is black with dreads. Just likes it when people are find something for them even. Right. There's a lot of books that aren't for me, but I'm glad they're for you. That's how I feel. So yeah, Detective Comics was my number 6, and spoiler alert, it is the only Batman title in my top 8. James Tynion's Batman did not make it. So let's go to my number 5. Number 5, The Flash. The Flash by Jeremy Adams has been really, really good. It's just a nice, fun comic book. And sometimes I feel like that's all you need. Now, this is my first experience with Wally West. I know there were a lot of people who were upset about whatever mistreatment of Wally West from Heroes in Crisis and other stories that came before I was an avid comic reader. This retcons a lot of that. So if you're interested in that, then pick it up, starting with issue 768. That's where Jeremy Adams' run starts. But ever since that retcon, it's just been a fun book. Flash, or Wally, is a family man. He's trying to, kind of get his life back on track since he was like dead or something and came back, right? So he's got to get a job. He's got to get his life together. And like I said, he's a typical guy from the Midwest. He's working at like an auto mechanic shop. He's like, I don't want any handouts. He's not good with computers. Like, there's a lot to like about his character. And, there's nothing that's more important to him than his family. Issue 775 or 775 was probably my favorite issue of the run. And it's him. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't. It wasn't 775. 774. Yeah, this issue was him and his daughter fighting crime together. Definitely my favorite issue of the run so far. And then in issue 775 or 776, this is the most recent one that I've read. It's just this whole fun, like, choose your own adventure type thing, breaking the fourth wall a lot. This book is just fun. And like I said, not a lot of people are talking about it. They might have been fatigued after Joshua Williamson. I don't know. But it's one of the best books on shelves, especially, if you just love superheroes. So let's see. Yeah, I agree. The Flash is really consistently good. Like, it's always a good book. So it's been cool. Subtly a consistent, fun read that gets your blood pressure going. Yeah, I really enjoyed the last issue. It's funny. I was like reading everything digitally so I could get through it faster. And they pulled the whole, hey, you turn the book to move the story along. And I was like, dang it. Now I have to go find my single issue. And I'm so glad I did. It was just fun. It was just a fun book, man. Really fun. Clark Nato was talking about the Daredevil run. Says that Soul and Zdarsky's Daredevil are even better if you've read Kevin Smith, Brian Michael Bendis, Ed Brubaker, The Shadowland, and Wade. That is so much required reading. I just jumped in because I had to just find a jump in point. But I'll eventually grab that too. Ben is watching Encanto with the family, so he'll be dipping in and out. Just got to say congrats on 5,000 and an awesome 2021. Can't wait to see 2022. Thanks for the super chat, Ben. Encanto, we were watching that the other day. I didn't finish it. The songs are too long for me. Specifically, the song with the super strong sister. I feel like her song went on for like 8 minutes, but I need to get into it. I need to finish reading it or watching it with my daughter. So we will. So speaking of like diversity and representation in comics, Clark Nato says, as a white straight dude, I already know that story. I want to read books that offer a different perspective and show other parts of the world. Learn a lot about Muslim culture from this Marvel. I feel you. I mean, I was a history major in college. History minor. An African-American history minor, if we're being like super accurate. But I enjoy learning about things. I think there's a way to do it in comic books. There's a fine line between like educating while having fun and just like lecturing in comic books. And I do feel like there's some stuff that like this doesn't do a good job of tiptoeing that line. But when it's done well, it's done really well. And I enjoy it. Richards LCS doesn't carry DC. What? Are these titles easy to jump in at the current issue? Should you try to find a back issue to start with? So DC did like a kind of soft reboot this year called The Infinite Frontier. So like Batman 106 was the start of Infinite Frontier, Flash 768. I don't remember them all because they didn't renumber. But sometime around March was when the Infinite Frontier started. So you got like 6 issues to go back and read of most titles. And I would say it's worth it. Infinite Frontier titles have been really good. Like I said, I feel like there's something for everybody. And they've been pretty accessible. I would say. Encanto is a Disney movie about this girl from like a magical family, and she's not magical, but she's got like the secret to the magic continuing or something. Yeah. Let's see. What up? Who's getting books won by BJ but not delivered till 2023 tonight? Very funny. Very funny. I cleared out the whole backlog. Everybody that's won something from me, it's in the mail, and they've got their tracking in their email right now. And the 2 things I'm giving away tonight, those will be there too. Have I watched Gotham? Not all the way through. I was watching it, but it got kind of racy for me, so I stopped watching it. Right around the time they were introducing the Joker character stand-in. So let's see. Al said, "You never lie about the song. My daughters want to see Encanto, so here I am." Well, hey, man, daughters run the world. Wives and daughters. And if you only have wives and daughters, then you are constantly being run. And that's just how that goes. So let's see. Old comics haven't aged the best for other reasons, but a lot of them were a lot more preachy than modern comics are. I haven't read a ton of older comics, so I can't really speak to that. But it's possible. That's possible. We got a lot to run through, so let me get back to this list. Flash made it to the top 5. It's really, really good. So buy it if you're interested. Next up, number 4, cracking the top 4. Can you believe there's a Superman book in my top 4? Superman in Action Comics, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. So I didn't read the Future State Superman titles. I didn't even buy the Future State Superman titles. But I know they had this whole War World thing and all this going on. I take that back. I did buy whichever one where he went to War World. That's the only one I bought. And I bought that because it was written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. I read the first issue, and I don't think I ever read the second one. But anyway, going into Infinite Frontier, we're figuring out how Superman ends up in War World and so on, right? But I say all that to say, this book, the art is amazing. If you're looking for like an action-packed superhero book, this is it. If you're looking for Superman to be like the symbol of hope and the optimist that you want, like, it's here, right? Somebody said in one of my questions asking why Superman is like so great, they were like, Superman is who every other hero aspires to be. This book is telling why. And it's really good. Like I said, action's good. The art's good. I'm reading it. And it's in my top 4. Like, I don't know if there's any higher praise than that. So, yeah. Let's see. Superman in the top 8. Yeah, I can't believe it either. But yeah, it's good. It's good. What is happening? You guys are trying to figure out who's going to win the omnibus, which is great. So, okay, Martian Manhunter backup story. I can't lie. I have not been reading the backup stories in most of these Infinite Frontier titles. Detective Comics has backup stories. They're typically pretty closely related to the main story, so I've been reading those. What is it? Action Comics, they've got backup stories. I hadn't read any of them. There was something about Ambush Bug, Martian Manhunter. I think Mr. Miracle had a backup story in Action Comics at one point. I didn't read them. Batman had backup stories. I wasn't a big fan of them all. I did like the Clown Hunter backup story, written by Brandon Thomas. That was pretty cool. But yeah, Justice League Dark was actually better than Justice League as far as backup stories go, but I haven't read it all, so we'll see. We'll see. Skip says, is Superman going to win this fight? And Al says, No. That issue just came out today. I haven't read, well, yesterday, technically. But I just picked it up today. I haven't read it. So who knows? My guess is no, though, because it's only part 3 in the World Saga. We gotta have at least what, 5 parts, right? So I guess my guess is no. But Action Comics is really good. If you're looking for like superhero action, pound them up, and it's got some of the best art in the line. So that's my number 4, believe it or not. And what's my number 3? Okay, we're in the top 3 ongoing series. And you can probably guess my top 3 at this point. But number 3 is Radiant Black. Radiant Black is written by Kyle Higgins, art by Marcelo Costa on most issues. It's a creator-owned title with Image Comics. And if you're looking for superhero feels, but you don't want like all the continuity issues and stuff, Radiant Black is for you. This book has a lot of the things that I typically would praise someone like Tom Taylor for including in a book, right? There's heart, there's depth, and there's action. What I really like about this is, so this dude stumbles upon like a superhero suit, you know, a la Power Rangers. These kind of look like Power Ranger suits, right? And as the story progresses, we're introduced to other characters who also have been, you know, studied or stumbled upon these suits. So they're kind of coming together like a Power Rangers team. There's a twist in this book that I still don't want to spoil in case someone has not picked up issues 1 through 5. But the story, you think it's about one person, it's about a whole different person. And it's, there's not a lot I can say without spoiling it, but it's really dope to see that person's character arc. And this story, honestly, we're 11 issues in, and it still feels like we're just getting started. Like, there's so many layers to explore in this story. They've already announced a spin-off series. There's a Radiant Red 6-issue series coming out in March. And there are teases, there are backup stories in this book that are teasing toward like a shared superhero universe that'll live at Image Comics. This feels like being in on the ground floor of something great. And every time this book comes out, it's at the top of my reading pile, which is probably the highest praise I can give a book. Definitely the best indie title I've read this year, and also top 3 superhero titles. This could have been number 2, but number 2 is number 2. So, Comic Book Report has been dying to check out Radiant Black. Yeah, man. Let's see. Skip says suits might finally die this time, and then no more Superman comics. Or let's see. Radiant Black Zord, I'm with that. Will I be getting the Sabretooth series in February or March? Most likely. I think it starts in January, actually. But yeah, Wolverine's my favorite character. Sabretooth is one of his most iconic foes. I'm going to pick up the Sabretooth 5-issue mini. Even if I shouldn't, I'm picking it up. Greetings from Austria. Yo, I don't know anything about Austria except the Von Trapp family. And Arnold Schwarzenegger. I know 2 things about Austria. Welcome, man. Thanks for being here. Oh, Johns, no more Action Comics, but still Superman. Yippee. I don't think Clark is going anywhere. But I mean, if editorial has anything to do with it, maybe it does. We're gonna get to disappointments in a minute. But yeah, my number 3 book this year, or ongoing series this year, was Radiant Black. Great indie series, only 11 issues out. Grab that if you're interested. And you might notice this list is very DC heavy. My number 2 book this year is Robin. As far as ongoing series, you guys know Damian Wayne is my favorite Robin. He's like my second favorite member of the Bat family. Third. It's Batman, Alfred, then Damian. And then Dick. And the rest doesn't matter. But yeah, so Robin at the start of Infinite Frontier, prior to the events of Infinite Frontier, he had like quit the Teen Titans. He had basically quit being Robin and decided he wanted to find his own way. He was just super affected by the death of Alfred. Spoiler alert, Alfred's dead. He's been dead for like 2 years, but in case no one told you. So in this Robin series, it's Damian trying to kind of find his own identity outside of Batman and outside of, his mother as well, Talia. And he decides he's going to enter this League of Lazarus tournament. It's like a Mortal Kombat style tournament, just to prove that he's the best fighter in the world. There's a lot of cool twists in this book. But what I love about it is this feels like it could be like a side story. Like, you don't need it. It's not happening in Gotham. It's not tied into any of the other Batman books, really. So it's like when you're struggling with continuity and does this matter, does that matter, it's easy to kind of write this one off. But there's some really great characterization of Damian being done. I think Joshua Williamson is doing a great job of just kind of exploring his mindset, what makes him tick, tying him into other members of the Bat family, and other people that we haven't seen in the DC universe for a while. So Robin is really good, really good. And I don't know how long the series is going. It doesn't say it's a mini. It doesn't say it's like a limited series. I don't know how long they're going to stay on this Lazarus Island. It feels like it's coming to an end, but I'm excited for whatever is coming next. Joshua Williamson is like up there on my favorite writers list this year. Specifically his DC Comics work, which he's only done DC Comics work this year that I know of. So let's see. Hired Flora Lawton to take Robin out with my comic book proceeds. Word. That's what she said. Don't believe me. That's funny. That's funny. Who's Batman's Alfred now? That's a whole different thing. We'll talk about it. But yeah, there's no Alfred, and that's a whole deal. It's true. But yeah, so my number 2 series this year was Robin. And I'm just going to wait for a second to see who can guess my number 1. I'm going to see if anybody guesses it in the comments. Oh, by the way, this mug. This is the Comics Are Dope disapproved mug. And it's available at comicsaredope.com right now. I love it. It's really good. I like it. I designed it myself. So, all right, you guys, you guessed it. My number 1 title this year is Nightwing. As soon as I get back to the ends, I suck at alphabetical order this year. But so Nightwing written by Tom Taylor, art by Bruno Redondo. Usually, it's just a really, really good series. Really, really good. So Dick Grayson has not been Dick Grayson for a very long time. Like, he got shot in the middle of Tom King's run, and there was this whole thing. Benjamin Percy quit the title because he was mad at the change. The audience quit the title because they were mad at the change, and for whatever reason, Rick Grayson stayed a thing all the way up until the end of Joker War. But once Joker War was over, one of the good things about Joker War is that we finally got Dick Grayson back. He remembers who he is now, right? And like I said, Alfred's dead. Alfred being dead is kind of a big thing for this new era of Batman. I think every book does a good job of kind of assessing the damage to each Bat family member that's done by not having Alfred. But anyway, Alfred's dead, and he's left Nightwing a ton of money. So now Nightwing is rich. And, well, Dick Grayson's rich. And he's got to decide how he's going to help Bloodhaven with his riches. And That's kind of all I can say without spoiling the book. But what I love about this book is it's everything I love about Tom Taylor, and it's everything I love about Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson, for all intents and purposes, is a better version of Batman. Like, Dick Grayson is Batman with parents. Like, and what I love about this series is how much Alfred's influence is shown in that way. There are definitely some twists and turns you don't see coming, new characters, new relationships that are being forged, being established. The only knock I have against this series was the 3 issues that we had to break and come out of Bloodhaven so that Nightwing could be a part of the Fear State event. But with issue 87 that came out last week, Nightwing went back to Bloodhaven in a big way. This issue had like this one continuous image. It was great. And we got right back into the action, right back into the heart of the story. There's new villains in this series. There's a lot to love about the series. And the art is A1. The writing's A1. The jokes. Like, at one point, Barbara Gordon is in the series wearing a shirt that has that whole Batman slapping Robin meme on it. Like, there's just stuff like that all throughout the book that you may notice, you may not, but it makes it a very enjoyable read. And this book is at the top of my list every time it comes out. And it's my favorite ongoing title of the year. It really is. Let's see. So the real MVP of Nightwing, though, is Bitewing. I rock with Bitewing. I rock with Bitewing a lot. Let's see. Yeah. The Nightwing has had a bunch of second print variants, and they're all better than the first print. All of them. LOL, man, what's up? Welcome. It's a great stream to join. We're recapping 2021. I'm talking about all my favorite things. It's Kix's favorite things. Copra's favorite things. B. Jopra's favorite things. But yeah, let's see. Daredevil will definitely beat Nightwing. Just saying. I don't know about that. Nightwing can see. And he's an acrobat. Daredevil might. I'm taking Nightwing, though. Batman's reaction to how he used the money was awesome. Yeah. The one continuous image in the most recent issue. Super dope. Yeah. You can call it a gimmick if you want. It was great. Let's see. Mary said, I started reading Nightwing because I want to see why you were always talking about it. It's good, right? Ben bought 2 copies of Nightwing 87. He's going to take the stables apart and try to figure out how to display it in one continuous image. I just feel like it's going to be, it's going to take up too much wall space. So I didn't even buy multiple issues so that I wouldn't be tempted to try it. Maybe if they end up in like a $1 bin or something, I'll do it. I might do it. And yes, I have been like clamoring for Jamal Campbell to return. I'm like, yo, what is Jamal Campbell doing? I ain't seen him on anything since Far Sector. Well, he's been doing variant covers for Nightwing, and they are all great. All great. And Naomi Season 2 is coming out next year, starting in March. And Jamal Campbell is the interior artist on that. So, fun things coming. Let's see. Call Me Top Gun says, I sound like the sound of music. A few of my favorite things. I'm not arguing. I'm with the bank robber. That's funny. I'm not arguing. I picked Nightwing. Only way to see who's going to win is to like cross them over. And it's not going to happen. So that's what it is. Everyone seems to like Nightwing at the moment. It's true. Everyone should like Nightwing at the moment because it's that good. It is that good. So those are my top 8 ongoing series this year. Like I said, if I had read Firepower and 7 Secrets, they would have made the top 10. They probably would have been in like that top half, but I hadn't finished them yet. So those 2 spots are open. Now it's time to talk about limited series. What were my favorite limited series this year? And I'm gonna start from the bottom. Now with the limited series, the order isn't quite as locked in, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Of course, the one book that I want to talk about there wasn't one in December. So at number 5 is Dark Ages. Dark Ages by Tom Taylor, Iban Coelho, Brian Reber on colors. Dark Ages is honestly, it's really good. It's really good. It might be my favorite thing coming out of Marvel right now, which is really more of an indictment on Marvel than it is like praise for Dark Ages, but it's a fun series. Some sort of EMP went off however long ago. We're being told the story as a flashback. We're learning who the major players were, who fought who. Apocalypse is a major villain, as you can see. Spoiler alert. And it's been good. It's fun. It's high stakes. It's a Tom Taylor Elseworlds book. It's very similar to like Deceased, where everybody is on the table. You don't know who's going to live. You don't know who's going to die. There are relationships that are established that you're like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. You get attached to somebody, they die. Like, it's Tom Taylor doing what Tom Taylor does. It's really fun. The only reason it didn't make it like higher up this list is because it's inconsequential. Like, it doesn't really, it's a great, fun story, but it doesn't really matter to anything else that's happening in the Marvel universe. So it ends up falling down the reading pile, but it's still very fun when I do read it. Keaton already calculated the space. It's around 8.5 feet with the pages trimmed and framed. Sheesh. Yeah, I don't have wall space for that. So are we getting more Naomi without the Justice League? We are. Naomi season 2 starts in March. Let's see. Yeah, Dark Ages is really good. It's really good. Let's see. So yeah, sorry. I like to monitor the comments, but then if I don't get a move on, this stream is going to be like a year long. But Dark Ages hits this number 5 spot for limited series. Number 4 on the limited series. Jonathan Hickman's Inferno. Don't get me wrong. Inferno is one of the best things to come out of the X-Men office this year. But Inferno, it's cramming so much into this 4-issue miniseries. So this is basically the direct follow-up to House of X, Powers of 10, and some of the threads that we saw in Jonathan Hickman's X-Men specifically. So if you remember in House of X, Powers of 10, aside from us just getting this whole revelation about Moira's 10 lives and the fact that the mutants can resurrect each other and stuff, right? The big threat they were trying to avoid was, there were two in House of X. There was this whole Nimrod thing, which could spell the end of mutant kind, right? And that whole plot by Orcus, which was this agency that was a combination of like all of these different agencies, Shield, Hammer, AIM, whatever, all of the things, right? So yeah, Nimrod was like the super like whatever. You think about Sentinels, like Nimrod is like the ultimate Sentinel, right? And he's gonna spell the end of our friends, the mutants, and this whole utopian thing they got going on. And then also going on with that, there was this whole thing with Destiny. Moira X got killed by Destiny in one of her lives, and was basically like, Destiny's like, yo, like, if you don't do things the right way, like, I'm gonna find you, I'm gonna kill you, whatever. So one of the big things coming out of House of X was Destiny can never be resurrected, like, ever. And nobody can know that this whole universe revolves around Moira. So all the mutants think Moira X is dead, or Moira McTaggart is dead. she's not dead. And so in Inferno, we find out where she's been, because you have not seen Moira in any of the X-Men titles since House of X ended. We find out where she's been. We find out things that have been going on with Destiny and Mystique. And things are falling apart. Things are falling apart for the X-Men. And it's really good. I do not know how issue 4 is going to wrap up next week, though. Issue 4 is out next week, and there are so many threads to tie up, and I'm just not super confident that it's going to be wrapped up neatly. But I guess I should trust Jonathan Hickman, since he's written the best stuff that I've read since I've been in comics. But I don't know. It's really good. Let's see. What is happening? There's a bot. There's a bot doing what? The bot seems to be blocked on my side. Like, I don't see the bot. And I also don't know how to mod people. So, nope, that's not the one. What's the star mean? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what you guys are talking about right now. Hopefully things are all good. Give me a second. Let me do this. I'm going to mute this, and where's Skip? Boom. Skip's a moderator, and yeah, Skip's it for right now. So thanks, Skip. Cool. So Inferno is my number 4 limited series this year. It's the best X-Men I've read, but they're cramming too much into it. It's hard for me to really, really enjoy it like I want to. So let's move on to number 3. I hope you guys got that bot situation straightened out. All right, so my number 3 limited series this year was a very surprising one for me, and that has been Primordial. Primordial by Jeff Lemire, Andrea Sorrentino, Dave Stewart on colors. Basically, the whole premise of this is like, when the space program officially ended, it was because they had sent some animals up to space on some rockets, and the rockets exploded. The animals didn't make it. Something happened, and they were like, let's just shut this down. Space race with Russia. We already made it to the moon. Like, we don't need to. We're fine. So that's what happened in real life, right? But in this book, that's not what really happened. The U.S. or the respective countries lost contact with these animals, but there was some other stuff going on. So the first 2 issues kind of talk about how things happen. The second 2, we're talking about like where the animal's trying to get back home from space. And that's all I can say. But it's really good. It's a story unlike anything else that I've been reading. And I've been enjoying it. Nice little 6-issue miniseries that's about to end soon. Somehow Pickle Rick returned. Was it Pickle Rick? Really? So yeah. I don't know. Primordial. I'm so used to doing this for my my weekly what I'm getting. But yeah, Primordial is my number 3 limited series. Are any of you guys reading Primordial? Because I ain't hear anybody talking about it. So let me know. Cool. Well, yeah, that's got the number 3 spot. Number 2. And honestly, this could have been number 1, but it happened so long ago. Number 2 is Stray Dogs. Stray Dogs was one of those books. I did a whole video about Stray Dogs. It ended up being like the only best of 2021 video I did because my Christmas weekend went so wonky. But Stray Dogs is one of those miniseries that you hear about. You just grab it just because. And then you're like, oh, snap, this is like really good. So Stray Dogs is about this dog, Sophie, who kind of joins this whole boarding house for dogs. But it's a horror series, honestly, and it plays with the idea that dogs don't have a great like short-term memory, right? So this dog kind of remembers, or long-term memory. Maybe they don't have long-term memory, but this dog like feels like her new owner is a serial killer and did something to her old master. And so throughout the miniseries, she's trying to convince the other dogs that their master is not a good dude. And so over the course of the series, you get all these revelations. You find out things about these dogs' past, and then you kind of get the dogs trying to, escape or, do better for themselves. This book, when I finally started talking about it out loud, I realized this reminds me a lot of the plot to Disturbia, that movie with Shia LaBeouf, where Shia LaBeouf's like, there's something weird about that neighbor. I think he's a killer. I'm going to convince my girlfriend that he's a killer and my best friend that he's a killer. And then we're going to confront him somehow for some reason instead of just like, I don't know, moving. I don't know. But yeah, so Stray Dogs is dope. Stray Dogs was dope. You don't expect it. What I love about Stray Dogs, why it made it so high on the list, was the combination of like this super gruesome or dark story with the super child-friendly art, right? That combination, that juxtaposition just did something for me. And the story really captured me. So Stray Dogs was number 2. Let's see. Stray Dogs reminded me of Black Sad in a way. It's talked about a lot on Reddit. The whole Boo Radley type of storyline. Boo Radley. Why does that sound so familiar? Is that the dude from that is the dude from To Kill a Mockingbird. Yeah. That's like one of very few books that I was assigned to read in high school that I actually read. So yeah. But yeah, Stray Dogs is my number 2 limited title of the year. And the number 1 spot, honestly, it could have been flipped. It could have. But this is honestly the series that I've been most excited for and most consistently impressed by. The only drawback is that this book hasn't completed, and it's only at the halfway point. But I'm talking about Hardware. Hardware Season 1. This was the Milestone Returns title that I was most excited for. If you'd never read the original Milestone books, this had the feeling that was most similar to the original Milestone titles. So Hardware, this guy right here, Curtis Metcalf, he works for like this super rich CEO dude who runs like a tech company, whatever. It's that classic like, hey, I'm the underappreciated engineer or whatever, combined with like some racial stuff as well. But basically he feels like, he deserves his just due. The CEO that he's been like the understudy of for all this time kind of puts him in his place and is like, nah, dog, you're just a cog in the wheel. Like, nah. And meanwhile, the corporation is doing all sorts of like ungodly things with this dude's technology, his inventions. And so he's like, oh, okay, so you're not going to give me my just due. You're not going to pay me what I'm worth. You're not going to give me a piece of the company. And you're going to use my tech for the wrong reasons. I'm going to burn this place to the ground. And so that's the basic premise of the book. But why it's so high on my list? The writing. The writing is just really, really good. It's written by Brandon Thomas, who wrote Excellence. And what else did Brandon Thomas do? He's doing like a bunch of Aquaman and Aqualad stuff right now. He had one of my favorite stories in Superman Red and Blue, Ben, the one where that dude like got saved by Superman like 4 times, and then he saved Superman at the end. That was a Brandon Thomas story, and I really like that one. But Brandon Thomas just does family well. He does like heartfelt stuff well, but with like emotional depth and drama as well. And somehow all of that is sandwiched in with a ton of action and some great art. The art is by Dennis Cowan. and it's inked by Bill Sienkiewicz. Like, I should have pulled up some interior pages because I can't do this book justice just showing you the covers. It's really good. It's really good. My only knock against the series is it's been delayed a couple times. So we've only got 3 issues. We should have had 4 at this point, but I think issue 4 is out in another 3 weeks. That is, the release schedule, it leaves something to be desired, but it's getting collected in a hardcover next summer. So if you missed out on the first few issues, you can wait for the hardcover. That might be a better way to read it, but every issue is really, really good. But yeah, let's see. They got Brandon Thomas busy right now. Yeah, he's writing a lot of stuff. Afro Sci-Fi has not read the new hardware, but he loves the original. Yeah, the new one made me go back to the original because my favorite of the original was Blood Syndicate, and then Static, and then Icon. And just kind of off the bat, I hadn't really gotten to hardware like that. This made me go back to hardware, and I love it. This series like tributes the original in a lot of ways. There's not enough praise I can give this miniseries. So yeah, it's definitely good. Ben's waiting for the compendium to come out before he reads the original series or the new series. You don't really need to. All of the Milestone Returns titles are reboots. So they're telling origin stories. It's all that. You don't need to wait. But some of them really just hardware. And Static to a certain extent. You may appreciate these titles more if you've read the original, at least the first 5 to 6 issues of the original titles. I'll say that. But going in blind, you'll love these books as well. And I think going in blind is probably better in some respects. Like Icon, I feel like if you read the original Icon, then you read the new Icon, you might be slightly disappointed. But if you read the new Icon first, you're like, yo, this is dope. And then you read the original Icon, you're like, oh, this is dope too, but with more depth. So, yeah, but this isn't the Milestone Return stream. That's actually coming tomorrow. Let's see. Did we get promised some new Blood Syndicate soon? Yes, they are doing a new Blood Syndicate series. It hasn't made it to the solicits yet, but it is coming next spring. And spring, I guess, could be like as late as July. I don't know. It's coming, though. Let's see. You're too young to remember Image Comics and how late the books would be. I've seen documentaries. But yeah. So this next part is honorable mentions. Books that are pretty good, but weren't good enough to beat out other books on the list, or I'm just not necessarily sure about the direction they're going in because they haven't done enough, right? So honorable mention, the first one, we're doing these in no particular order. Honorable mention, Dark Knights of Steel. Tom Taylor has another Elseworlds title. This one playing with a lot of like fantasy storytelling. Like there's magic and castles and dragons and all this stuff that I wouldn't normally be into. But it's like if somebody put like a, I don't know, Game of Thrones skin over the DC universe. So it's like the characters are familiar, but not so much. But even if you're not into like fantasy stuff, you can kind of infer like what everybody's role is. I got the water. I'm still struggling. That's better. But yeah. But what I will say is this book just really does a lot to subvert expectations. Like they did something that's never been done with the Superman origin story. They did something that's never been done with the Batman origin story. And I'll just leave it at that. The 2 issues that have come out so far have both been 10 out of 10 for me. Like this series is shaping up to be better than Deceased. And Deceased was my favorite book that I read all of 2019. So that's Dark Knights of Steel. Definitely an honorable mention. Let's see. Don't normally read a lot of fantasy stuff. Usually just watch fantasy stuff. That stuff is compelling. Yeah, I don't really read fantasy books or fantasy movies or any of that, but I love this book. So Blaine says Moon Knight has been great. Moon Knight didn't make my list because I didn't read it. I picked up the first 3 issues and never read the first 3 issues, and so I dropped the series to save money on my pull list, and I still haven't read those 3 issues. So maybe I'll read them and then be mad that I missed the second 3 issues, but we'll see. We'll see. So honorable mention, Dark Knights of Steel. The next honorable mention is, I didn't have an issue in December, X-Men. X-Men by Jerry Dugan. So the reboot, after Hickman does the Hellfire Gala, it leads us into this new X-Men written by Jerry Dugan. Jerry Duggan. I'm sure Skip knows because he's best friends with everybody. But in so many ways, X-Men has been a disappointment for me, the X-Men line. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. But this kind of uses the Hickman era in a different way. Instead of trying to tell some huge, grand, overarching storyline over like 85 books, this just says, hey, what would the consequences of Krakoa be? How do we make the stakes high in every issue and give you good villains to fight? This is very much like a return to form. If you were looking for, hey, a villain comes this week, they defeat the villain, but also something big happens, right? Kind of like this Claremont stuff that's coming. I'm not saying Jerry Duggan's X-Men is on the level of Claremont's X-Men, but I'm saying it's a return to a familiar type of storytelling that isn't so sprawling and isn't attempting to be so epic, and it especially isn't disappointing with its lack of being epic. Just a good book. Good, solid book. So, X-Men number 5 is dope. What is happening? Is there another bot? What is happening with these bots? And why can't I see them? Let's try this again. I'm going to make sure it's muted. Where do you guys see bots? Maybe it just filters it out for me. Maybe it just filters it out so I can't see stuff. Oh, this Russian dude or thing. I can handle it. Let me just ban it. What's up, Android Topic? Kamar. What's up, dude? Remove. Oh, I just removed the message. Hide user. There we go. All right. Now, get back to my list. X-Men's really good. X-Men is really good. I like it a lot. Since Hickman jumped off it, ironically. And now, what else is on my honorable mentions list? I Am Batman. I Am Batman by John Ridley. It's finally hit its stride. I was very critical of John Ridley's Next Batman and Next Batman Second Son. But ever since I Am Batman number 1, this has actually been a good series. Jace Fox is finally kind of coming into his own identity. We're getting him dealing with his own conflicts and not just like thrown into whatever Batman's got going on. And now that Fear State is over, I expect it to get even better. Starting with issue number 5, the interior artist is going to be Ken Lashley. Well, no, he's doing the cover for issue 5. He's doing interior starting with issue 6. And that's going to be dope. That's going to be dope. There's some stuff that's going to happen with Jace, and that's interesting. I'm excited to see where this series goes, is my point. I'm starting to think that a lot of my issues with Batman and the Batman universe were really just editorial issues and not bad writing, but we'll talk about why in a second. Next honorable mention, Black Panther, also by John Ridley. Now, I was not excited about John Ridley's next Batman stuff, and so I was very much not. I was looking forward to a new jumping in point for Black Panther, but I wasn't expecting much out of John Ridley's writing. Well, I have to say, John Ridley's writing so far is carrying this series. The art is leaving a little bit to be desired. It's good, not great. But the Black Panther is dope. So Wakanda's a democracy now. T'Challa is struggling to come to terms with the fact that he can't just say the word and make things happen. Meanwhile, there's like a secret from T'Challa's past, like threatening to upend everything and change Wakanda forever. Maybe it ceases to exist. There's action in each issue. Shuri stole the show in issue number 2. I'm really excited to see where this book goes in the new year. Really am. Really, really am. So, yeah, that's Black Panther. And I think, oh, okay, there's one more honorable mention. And that is Black Cotton. Black Cotton was a limited series. Well, it's actually not a limited series. That's the thing. I thought it was a limited series. It turns out they're continuing Black Cotton, starting with issue number 7 in February. Black Cotton, written by Patrick Foreman, Patrick Foreman and Brian Hawkins, art by Marco Perugini. It's basically about this world, this alternate universe, whatever, where social or racial roles are reversed, right? The Black people are the majority. The Black people are the ones who have all the generational wealth. The white people are the working class minority, right? This book focuses on the Cotton family. They're like a wealthy family akin to, historically wealthy families like the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the DuPonts, whatever, right? One of their descendants is a police officer, this dude, Zion Cotton, and he shoots an unarmed minority white woman. And this book is about the fallout from that action. And when I tell you that, it sounds like it's just a very political book. It's just all about, Black Lives Matter or White Lives Matter in this case. And it's just like ripped from the headlines type storytelling. But no, because as much as there is that commentary, there is this whole underlying story involving the Cotton family and some of their old business dealings and some of the people they might have screwed over in the past and those decisions coming back to bite them. And that is the really exciting thing about this book. So I was very pleased when I found out that this book is not ending at issue 6 and that they are resuming with issue 7 starting in February. If you have not picked up that trade, pick up the trade because it's good. It's good. Let's see. Trey says, what's up? It's been busy. Am I picking up any of the Black Panther Omnis next year? I'm picking up all the Black Panther Omnis next year. The classic one, the Coates Omni, the World of Wakanda Omni. They just announced the Priest Omni. I'm just waiting for the Reggie Hudlin announcement, and I'm grabbing that one too. Yeah, I'm grabbing all the Black Panther. Let's see. What program am I viewing this stuff on? This is the League of Comic Geeks. It's a website, League of Comic Geeks. I like it, and I use it all the time. This is what I use to make the What I'm Getting videos. It keeps your pull list intact and adds up to your collection. You can see what's coming out, all that. It's great. You love what I did, Top Gun? Let me know what you're talking about. And yes, Hive Comics did get some exclusive covers for Black Cotton 1 and 2. I got this one. My man Kev Koss sent me this one. And then issue 2, I didn't get this cover. It's pretty cool looking though. But yeah, Black Cotton. I really love the series. Honestly, that could have made the top 10. That could have made the top 10. But issue 6, I feel like I read it so long ago, and there's such a hiatus. So I kind of treated it like a mini series, and it wasn't it didn't beat the other miniseries that I mentioned. So pick up that first trade. Kenneth Franklin wants to read Luke Cage run by Chip Zdarsky. There's supposed to be a Luke Cage book by Hoche Anderson. Marvel canceled it. You can still see the advertisement for it in a bunch of Marvel titles this month for issue number 2. Issue 1 got canceled. The whole series got canceled. I don't know why. But yeah. Oh, the idea to make Top Gun a mod. I could do that. But I'm trying to move on because we're over time. If we get more bots, we have more issues, well, I'll appoint another mod. Sheesh. Trey bought 603 single issue comics this year. That's insane. I probably bought way more, but that's still insane. I bought an average of about 10 to 12 books a week, not counting back issues and stuff from like live shows and stuff. So I'm probably right up there. They canceled the Cage book because it was going to be too Afrocentric. It's a Luke Cage book. That's so dumb. I hope they bring it back. Chances are they won't. Because it was a Devil's Reign tie-in, and Devil's Reign is continuing. So why would they bring it back? How would they bring it back? Yeah. How would they? By the way, we're going to go ahead and, well, we're not going to go ahead, but in the chat, I'll tell you when in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys how we're going to select the winner of, yeah, we're shot. Yeah, no. I'm going to tell you how we're going to select the winner of the Teenage Wasteland set of trades, courtesy of Ultimate Comics Raleigh. So between now and whenever I give this stuff away, I just need somebody to put the name of my favorite ongoing title of the year in the chat. That's how he'll enter. And we'll select the winner later on tonight. Yes, officially Unofficial Geek, there's a giveaway. This is the Teenage Wasteland themed giveaway set, courtesy of Ultimate Comics Raleigh. So you get all these books featuring teenage superheroes, Generation X, Mighty Morphin Volume 1, and Power Rangers Volume 1, The Legion Volume 1, and Invincible Volume 1. A great starting points for a bunch of teenage superheroes. So that's up for grabs tonight. To anyone in the chat who can tell me, what my favorite ongoing title this year was. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. Now, as far as the rules, anybody can enter, but if you're international, you're going to have to pay shipping for these. If you're US based, I'll ship them to you for free. Only say it one time. If you say it a bunch of times, it's not gonna go. It's a word. It's one word. But yeah, so sometime between now and 9:15, I'll announce who won that. So those were my honorable mentions: Dark Knights of Steel, Jerry Dugan's X-Men, I Am Batman, Black Panther, Black Cotton. Those were my notable honorable mentions. Now, what else we got to do? My daughter is screaming her head off. Oh, so my biggest disappointments this year. Sheesh, I'm hungry. That was my stomach. But yeah, my biggest disappointments this year were, I don't even have an issue with me. James Tynion's Batman, the whole Fear State saga, the whole thing. And like I said, I told you guys why it was a disappointment for me. But I'll tell you more. Right. So Batman. Oh, I don't want to use this one as the example because this was a good one by Joshua Williamson. I was very disappointed by the whole Fear State saga of Batman, mostly because I wasn't really feeling the whole Magistrate storyline anyway. But specifically, the Fear State event in the main Batman title didn't catch my attention because it was too much like Joker War. It was like the same as Joker War, but with Scarecrow. League of Comic Geeks is frozen. I don't know what's going on. All right, there we go. So I'm trying to just put Batman on the screen. Of course. Sort this by alphabetical, A to Z. Let's do one more week before. Bro, what the heck? When did Batman come out again? When was the last time Batman came out? Here we go. So, James Tynion's Batman. This whole Fear State thing. Yeah, I was excited for James Tynion's Batman when James Tynion did his whole manifesto via email. I'm on his email list, and he was like, yo, Batman's going to be an action horror book. Once we're done with the Joker War, I'm going to put Scarecrow front and center and all this stuff, right? It was great. And then we find out, and this is why I say I think the whole thing was editorial, right? I find out later on through interviews that James Tynion was not originally supposed to be writing Batman past issue 105, which was the Joker War. So he kind of came up with a story after the fact when he found out it was going to be really good. But James Tynion's Batman all last year was great, starting with issue 86 and the fight with Deathstroke and the designer and all this stuff with the Joker. Everything leading up to the Joker War was amazing. The Joker War itself was good. The ending was a little disappointing, but the Joker War itself was really good. Probably the best Batman event. Oh, that wasn't even last year. That was this year, early this year. I liked it a lot. I liked the Joker War. I ended up liking it a lot better than Three Jokers. I'll say that. And but anyway, so we end the Joker War. And when the Joker War ends, we get this whole pause in the Batman schedule for Future State, where we're getting the next Batman and all this stuff, right? They do the Magistrate stuff and whatever, and I'm like, What turned me off to the Magistrate and that whole saga was I bought all the Gotham books, all the Future State Gotham books. So Nightwing and Teen Titans and or with Robin and Tim Drake, whatever. It was a bunch of stuff. And none of the books seemed to go together, even though they were all clearly in the same setting. So it's hard to figure out where we were in the story. And then according to editorial, it was like, oh, this could happen. This could be in continuity. It could not be in continuity, whatever. So I'm supposed to read these like individual series. Okay, cool. Well, Batman Dark Detective, that's cool. That was nice. It's over. I'm so glad Future State is over so that I can go back to what James Tynion was doing in Batman. That's what I'm thinking as Future State's happening. Then Future State ends, and we go back to the main Batman and Detective Comics, and all of a sudden, we're reintroducing all the Magistrate stuff. Now we're getting the origins of Mayor Nakano, the Magistrate program getting put together, and the Peacekeeper, and all this stuff. And I'm just like, But James Tynion's twist is, well, we'll make Scarecrow the center of it. And I'm like, okay, I can get with that. Scarecrow's underrated. I feel like there haven't been enough good Scarecrow stories. Give me it, Tynion. Give it to me. Give me the Scarecrow. And we didn't really get Scarecrow like that. We got a lot of fear gas, but we didn't really get Scarecrow. We didn't get anything like new. We didn't get any like character defining Scarecrow moment. We didn't get anything that made me respect Scarecrow more. We just got another long, drawn-out future state story. And the new look, I agree. The new Scarecrow looked good. He looked scary. I agree with that. But it just like Three Jokers did last year, and we all got fooled. Three Jokers was supposed to be like this new character defining, like we're going to redefine the relationship between Batman and the Joker and all blah, 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 blah. And instead, it was just like a decent Joker story. Really a decent Batman story that just tried to retcon a bunch of Joker stuff for no reason and it just fell flat. And Fear State fell flat. But I think Fear State fell flat because it was editorially mandated. I think DC editorial kicked Tom King off of Batman without a plan for the character, is what I think. I think when they fired Dan DiDio, they were like, well, let's just use this stuff that we already had planned, but we don't really know how we're going to make it work. And it didn't work. It didn't work. And I say that because I feel like it was editorial because all the writers that I'm talking about, John Ridley, the next Batman, I did not like it. I did not enjoy it the way I thought I would. It had its moments. It had good things about it. But it fell flat for me. James Tynion's Batman fell flat for me. But both of those writers are doing incredible things elsewhere. John Ridley's Black Panther is really good right now. It's really good. James Tynion is writing Something's Killing the Children. He's writing Nice House on the Lake. He's writing Department of Truth. All of those books, really, really, really good. So am I to believe that both of these writers just got Batman and all of a sudden sucked? No. I think editorial told them what to do, and it just didn't work, is how I feel about it. Somebody can prove me wrong, but I don't know how you're going to do that. Fear State definitely went way too long. I bet it reads better all at once than an Omni. I'm going to, before I put all these single issues away, I'm going to read through Fear State again and see if I enjoy it anymore. Because I will say, I enjoy Detective Comics a lot more than I thought I would. So I might enjoy the regular Batman book more all in one go as well. We'll see. But yeah, so biggest disappointment, James Tynion and the Fear State Batman era. So year 2 of James Tynion. And then the second major disappointment, the whole X-Men line. And I think, sorry, Leah Williams, that Trial of Magneto has to be the scapegoat for this argument, but the whole Hickman era, the whole X-Men line in 2022, it just got away from them, man. Like, the first year of Hickman's X-Men, good, great, even. My favorite books on shelves. X-Men, X-Force, Marauders, Wolverine. My favorites. Loved those books. And then we got Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords wasn't bad. When I finally read the event, Ten of Swords wasn't bad, but it did go on way too long. And because it was a line-wide event, I had to buy a bunch of books that I wasn't interested in necessarily anyway. And it just took so long to read. It took so long to read the Ten of Swords. The ending was cool. I loved how it felt. I love the whole where it sets Apocalypse in the Krakoa era. I love the Iraqi lore and mythos. That stuff is cool. I didn't need all of the random like dinner party games. Right? So we got that. We got that happening. And I get fatigued from trying to read all of that. And then, as soon as I get caught up in the X of Swords or Ten of Swords, then they do the Hellfire Gala. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, Jonathan Hickman's leaving X-Men. And they change the team. they start a bunch of new titles, right? There's the Reign of X, there was Way of X, there was X Corp. There was a bunch of new series, and I felt like every time I picked up a new X-Men title, it was like they were all starting from square one. Like they were expanding out and not going any further in the story. And it was like, you know what? If we're just going to be in chapter one of this story for the next 3 years, I'm out. Give me some development. Give me something. Move the story forward. Like I said, there have been bright spots. Hickman's X-Men had some really good issues. Issue 20 is probably my favorite. 20 or 21. The Vault stuff. Some of my favorite stuff. The Return of Nimrod. Some of my favorite stuff. But overall, a bunch of meandering and walking in circles and introducing things that we never followed up on. Like what were the horticulture from issue number 3? Where are they? Gotta be somewhere, right? Now, I will reserve some judgment for the fact that what I know now is that Hickman's era isn't really supposed to be wrapped up. He's just wrapping up certain portions of it, and they're supposed to be exploring this stuff over the next year, 2 years, however long. I just don't know if I don't trust that they're going to do anything great with it. They haven't earned my support in the way that Hickman earned it before. Why would I buy all these new titles? Why should I buy Sabretooth and Wolverine and the Destiny of X and whatever they're calling the new Excalibur reboot? And like, there's so many books, and there's so far not a singular reason for me to really want to jump behind them. Now, I understand that 10 Lives and 10 Deaths of Wolverine by Benjamin Percy is supposed to give us that. It's supposed to give us new reasons to pledge our allegiance to the X-Men. And honestly, I've been really enjoying Benjamin Percy's Wolverine, so I have some faith in him, but I don't know who's going to hold the weight of the entire X-Men line, if not Jonathan Hickman. But overall, I feel like they just fumbled the bag. Jonathan Hickman is on the record saying he had a whole different story planned, and editorial and the rest of the writers were like, oh, but let's stay here for a little bit longer, indefinitely. And so John Hickman's like, well, look, my time is done. Like, I can't do this forever. And I'm just mad because I feel like we were promised one thing, and we're never going to get it. And the thing that we're getting is not as good as the thing we were promised, or even close. So that's the biggest disappointment. The biggest disappointment is with Marvel and DC editorial departments, specifically X-Men editorial and Batman editorial, because I know for a fact, based on what the writers said, that the stories we got weren't the stories that were planned in both cases. So those were my biggest disappointments of this year. Now, it's time to give this book away, this stack of books away. So let me share my screen. Stop sharing the other thing. Share this other thing. So I'll give you guys just a few more seconds in case, there's 21 of you guys here. I only see 10 entries. So if you can just name my favorite ongoing series of 2021 in the chat, one word, no spaces, no random thingies, then yeah, do that. That'll get you an entry. And let me double check and see how many entries we got. We're still at 10, so okay, 11 now. It's only counting each entry once, so if you do it multiple times, it's still only going to count your one. We got 12. All right, I'm gonna count you guys down. In 5. I don't know if that was a joke. I don't know if that was a joke. But somebody said, that was funny. That was funny. All right. We got all the entries. All right, let me share my screen. And so the my favorite ongoing series was Nightwing, which I said in the stream. So if you were paying attention, I'm sure you all were. Anyway, let's pick a winner. That's cool. That's cool. Skip one. Skip one. So, my man, you are the winner of this Teenage Wasteland set of books. So, all these books led by teenage superheroes. We got Invincible, Legion of Superheroes, Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers, and Generation X. All feature team superheroes. And yeah, they're all coming your way, courtesy of Ultimate Comics Raleigh. Courtesy of Ultimate Comics Raleigh. So shout out to them. Thank you, Dan, for all this. Yeah, this playlist is like my old haul videos. Huh. Interesting. I don't even remember buying that book. So yeah, I'm gonna let Skip do whatever he wants to do with these. I know he's got his own channel and stuff. So if Skip wants to pick a different winner and all that, that's all good. But these are getting mailed to Skip. So shoot me an email or a message or whatever, my guy. I need your address, your email address, your name, your real name, all that stuff. You know how to find me. So congrats to Skip and Tosh for winning the Teenage Wasteland set of books. I was looking for something else, and I found my first print of Ultimate Fallout 4. Wait, is this the first print? Yeah, this is my first print of Ultimate Fallout 4. So that's cool. Let's see. I pulled out a bunch of random slabs. These aren't giveaway prizes. These are just things that I grabbed when I did that little break by accident. But anyway, we gave that away. So skip one. Now, next up, we got to do the K-Squad exclusive giveaway sponsored by Organic Price Books. So someone in the K-Squad is going to win this Batman by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo Omnibus Volume 2. So good thing is Volume 1 is still in stock at Organic Price Books. So if you win this, you can go buy the Batman Volume 1 to go along with it. But yeah, this is coming to you for free, courtesy of courtesy of Organic Price Books. And you guys know I like to switch up these giveaways. I don't necessarily want people like just subscribing to the channel for giveaways. And I certainly don't want people like just joining the Facebook group for giveaways. And so I always switch up how I'm going to give things away. So if you're in the K Squad, then you may, you know what, I'll pull it up. So I asked a question not long ago in the K Squad. And that question was, where is it? All right. So I'll share it. All right. So I asked you guys to name your favorite Batman story. Now, I asked you this inside the Facebook group, and I asked you separately in the Discord. And what I did was I went ahead and everyone who commented on that post and gave me their favorite Batman story, you got entered to win. You got an entry if you commented on Facebook, and you got an entry if you commented on Discord. There are some people who are in both. As far as I can tell, no one answered in both places. But I went ahead and I grabbed all the names. I grabbed all the names before the stream even started, and I put you guys all on a mystery wheel. And so, now it's time to spin that wheel. So let's find the mystery wheel. Where is it? There we go. So this is the wheel of names. Everybody on this wheel commented and told me what their story was, or their favorite Batman story was. Now the rules for this are the same, right? You already entered, you already got your entry. Cool. Everybody's name's on the board one time. Cool. If you win this omnibus and you are not based in the United States, I will ask for you to cover shipping. If you win and you're like, I know I can't pay shipping, international shipping, no harm, no foul. You can tell me in the chat right now to spin it again. Or if you want to email me later and get a quote or whatever, then cool. And if you decide to turn it down later, then I'll just spin the wheel again and we'll figure it out. Aiden wants to know if he's on the list. He was the first to reply. I am pretty sure you are there. Let me just double check. Aiden, what's your name in Discord? Because I could have sworn I grabbed all of the replies. I could be mistaken. I could have missed one. But what I did was I just scrolled back to that section. So yeah, did you comment on Facebook or Discord? And if you commented on Discord, okay, Captain, did you? All right, let me go. I'm going to go to the Discord. I want this to be fair. I want to make sure that everybody that commented gets their entry. So you guys give me just a second. I got to go back to that post. I wish there was a faster way to do this. There is not. You guys talk in the Discord a lot. I'll tell you that much. Boom, 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 boom. We're still on Christmas Eve. Where we at? Did I go too far? I think I went too far. Just talk amongst yourselves in the chat. I'm sure you are already. All right. You're right. My bad, Captain. I was looking at replies. But you're right. You did respond first. So, give me a second. Discord and the Facebook group are where everybody who commented on Facebook and everybody who commented on the Discord got entered. So if you don't see your name on the screen, let me know. If you don't see your name on the screen and you actually commented, let me know. I'll have to verify it. So if you're on Facebook, you have to tell me like your actual name. But I'll scroll through real quick. K-Squad people do not have to be present to win. So there's that. So yeah, officially unofficial. Let me know who you are on Facebook, so I can just double check. Johnny Lawrence. And you commented on this in the Facebook group? Let me go back and let me go back and check. Then scroll through these one more time. Dang, did I close out of it? I didn't close out of it. It's right here. All right. So I'm looking at the comments. On Halloween. All right. And you said your name. I got too many tabs open right now. Officially unofficial. Oh, sorry, officially unofficial. You're Carrie Quinn. Carrie, you're here. You're on the list. Your name is on the screen right now. Yes, it would be cheating if you answered now and you didn't answer before, and I also would have timestamps. That's part of the whole thing, right? So when I do these K Squad exclusive giveaways, oh, got you, Cobra Kai, my bad. But yeah, when I do these K Squad exclusive giveaways, the whole point is just to reward people who are active in the group, and I like to keep people on their toes. And so I think what usually happens, like right after this, is people are like, oh, let me comment on everything that Brandon posts in the group, which is not necessary, but it's still fun. The most common answers, year one. We got year one a lot of Court of Owls, and a lot of Long Halloween. A lot of Long Halloween. Long Halloween might be the most common. Killing Joke's up there too. But yeah, Long Halloween is the most common answer on this thread, at least in Facebook. It would take me longer to find that information on Discord. But all right, so here's what we're going to do. Somebody pick a number. Skip, you won the last giveaway. Pick a number between 1 and 12 and type it in the chat. So Trey, I'm showing that you didn't comment on the post. I do see that you liked the post, but you didn't comment and tell us what your favorite Batman story was. Is Skip still in the chat? Skip won some books and left, dog. All right. Well, Top Gun. Top Gun said 11, so it'll be 11. So I'm going to go ahead and don't worry, Trey. There will definitely be more giveaways. Like, absolutely will be more giveaways. I'm kind of obligated to give things away every month by 2 channel sponsors. So we'll shuffle this 11 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we're going to go ahead and give it a good old spin. Turn this up. Boom. So the winner was Aaron Cobbs. I'm not sure if Aaron is on the chat. I don't think he's watching the live stream right now. But stream's going well, Craig. Aaron Cobbs, you just won this. Batman by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, Volume 2. So I will go ahead and message you. If Aaron decides to turn this down or something, then like I said, I will spin the wheel again or whatever. We'll find out soon enough. I'll message him privately and give him the option of what to do. But yeah, congratulations to Aaron. And thanks for being a loyal member of the K Squad and participating in the group and just being dope. So if you didn't win this time around, no worries. You know what you got to do. The links are in the description below. Join the K Squad on Facebook and or Discord or both, right? Yeah, so join the K Squad and just contribute to the community. I'm always doing these things in different ways. Sometimes I'll just do a raffle of the top contributors. Sometimes I'll do a raffle for like certain badge holders. Sometimes it's people that commented on a specific post. You never know. So you never know. But no matter what, the winner of the K Squad exclusive giveaway is always someone who is active in the group and is not just like there, which is dope. Which is dope. I like doing giveaways that way. You give to the community gives back to you. So those were our winners. Congratulations to the winners. Thanks for joining me for the last Hangout of the year. What are we doing? Starting next year, right? What's a badge holder? A badge holder, Facebook does this thing where they assign roles to group members based on how they interact with the group. So like if you comment a lot or you create a lot of posts that start a bunch of conversations or whatever, then they have a conversation starter badge. If you're somebody who comments on people's posts a lot, they have the valued responder badge. They've got the founding members badge for people that like shared the group when it first started. There's group experts. You can upvote people's comments, and so people that get the most upvotes get like a different badge. They do a lot of different things. It's pretty cool. So yeah. No, Damian Wayne has his father. They like fight crime together. But yeah, Carrie, I think you do have a star. Nah, no Superman in the background today, Kamar. Well, there's Superman in the background. But no, I decided to play my own videos just so I couldn't get copyright strikes. JC won a gem crate back in the summer. That's dope. There's not a first member badge, but you are the first member of the K Squad. Trey definitely gets that claim. Oh, I didn't respond to this. Somebody said something about a goatee versus a full beard. I can't grow a full beard. This is about as full as my beard gets. I need to go to the barbershop. So seeing myself on the screen reminded me of that. Kamar's got 2 or 3 badges, he thinks. I don't know how many badges I've got. I can see badge holders. Not a lot of cool things. Let's look and see. Why not? Let's look and see who we've got with badges. Is there an easy way for me to see that? I go to membership. There's not an easy way for me to see everybody who's got a badge. So, never mind. But anyway, it's just a cool thing that Facebook does. So, shout out to you guys for being in the squad, whether it's on Facebook or on Discord. Oh, Born wants to know what my favorite covers of the year were. Let me see if there's an easy way for me to see this. I need to like jog my memory real quick. I'll share my screen again. And we'll go through them together. And this will be the last question. I'm gonna end this at 9:30. So just looking based on the months. There were some Spawn covers that I really liked. I loved this one, to Hulk #2. That was one of my favorites. Batman Catwoman, not one of my favorite series, but definitely had some great covers this year. So we're in November. I like all the covers for Primordial. This one, Spawn 323, definitely in the running for best cover of the year. Or one of my favorite covers of the year. The Akira homage cover for Static Season 1, issue number 4. That was also up there. This one. That's like, just off the top of my head, that's got to be top 3. Like, I don't think there's any way that falls out of the top 3 of my favorite covers. Let's see. Just trying to go through these. And if there's any way to do this quickly. This Batman Urban Legends cover right here with Batman Beyond. Dope. Somebody said McFarlane's cover for King Spawn #1. I'll have to go back and look at that one. That would have come out in August or July. One of those. Let's see. Philadelphia has some dope covers. All right, so this is the A cover. Oh, this one. I liked the Finch cover the best out of all these. Capullo has some great covers too, though. Yeah. But just throughout the year, the McFarlane variants on Spawn are some of the best covers, like, every month that they come out. Like, it's not even close. Not even close. Let's do July, right? So, yeah. Okay, see, look, random McFarlane Gorilla or Cygor, right? Like, just what? So, yeah, those are some of my favorite. And then let's see. Trey says, how about a cover of the week in 2022? That's 52 covers, then a cover of the month, cover of the quarter, then the final 4 covers for cover of the year. I could probably do that. I know that who is it? Mike Spider Slayer. He does that. But yeah, I don't. We could do that. We could do it on the Hangout. That could be a segment on the Hangout once a month. That'd be cool. Or once a week, I guess. Yeah, I could do that. And voted on by K Squad members. I have to figure out how to set that up. Set up that voting, but I don't mind. That'd be a fun thing to add to the channel. But yeah. Far Sector had good covers. That ended at the beginning of the year, though. Strange Academy had good covers. Here's a lot of good stuff. This one's pretty good. There was some Batman variants that were really good. Yeah, there's a lot of good covers. I think Todd McFarlane's Spawn covers are the most consistently great covers. I'll say that. And Josh Cassaro was doing some great covers for X-Force too. That Jean Grey X-Force 19 cover, dope. This Joshua Middleton Dark Knights of Steel #1 cover, dope. The covers for Icon and Rocket by Torrin Clark, all of these are really dope. And Torrin Clark is also doing covers for Miles Morales Spider-Man right now. So this was one of my favorites right here. And then this one coming up. That's an early contender for Best of January 2022. So yeah. Gardner's Secret Files. I bought that issue. Let's do this. I said I was ending at 9:30, didn't I? And here we are, just like starting a whole random topic. But let's do it. We're here. All right. Yeah, this cover was dope. I love the creepy Batman in the background. That's a good cover. Oh, they had a Virgin variant? That would have been cool. That's cool. So yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. I think Static Season 1, Issue 4, the B cover by Nick Draper Ivy, that Akira homage, that's probably my favorite cover of the year. That's the one cover that I bought like 4 copies of just because I wanted it. So that's what I'm gonna call my favorite without like looking at every cover and trying to rank them off the top of my head or whatever. That's what I got. So yeah, man, this was the Hangout. It is so wild seeing how short my hair is in that video, and how long it is here. That's cool. But anyway, thank you guys for being here on the Hangout. We're hanging out for 2.5 hours. I hope your 2021 was everything you wanted it to be, and if it was not, it's okay. There's always next year. So just work harder tomorrow to have a better outlook, and we'll push things along. We're gonna hit our budget goals in 2022. We're gonna hit our weight loss goals in 2022. We're gonna read all the books that we buy in 2022. We're doing whatever we want in 2022. I'm excited that you guys are along for the journey. As far as goals, I want to keep growing this channel. I want to keep growing the community. I want to interview more creators, and I want to have fun. And I want you guys to be a part of it. So I appreciate you being here on the Hangout, and I'll see you in another episode soon. Until then, buy what you like, read what you buy, and be nice to others. Because kindness makes the world go round. Peace.